Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to what I literally just now am realizing is not week 7, it's week 8, and it is not November, it is December, ladies and gentlemen. We're doing this. This is live and on purpose, ladies and gentlemen, because I wanted to make it a big fanfare for the fact that it is December. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to December. Cold and flu season, also COVID season. I've recorded an episode of the JMO show that was supposed to come out last week. Actually, it's the news time. Supposed to come out this last week. I had COVID. I still have COVID, but I wanted to make sure I had this episode out for all you great people out there. This is week 8. We are officially 2 months into NHL Weekly, and we are officially a quarter of the way through the season. At least a quarter of the way through the season for some teams. Some other teams are 5 games into the future of the quarter season. As you can see behind me, we're back in my living room. I wanted to show off our beautiful tree. But also wanted to not have to go too far from my wonderful, wonderful couch that I've been laying on for the past 5 days. Excuse me. The JMO episode is coming out this coming week, giving my report card for every team in the quarter term. Excuse me. So that episode, I'm really excited about to hear what you guys think on who you think gets an A+, who gets an F-, for the first quarter of the season. Holy cow! Excuse me. Should have had a lozenge. But other than that, so JMO episodes have kind of been pushed to the side for now, just for a minute, while I recover. I can't figure out why somebody upstairs really wants me to not have a consistent channel layout, but that's okay. Man, and this is going to be one take, as always, just because I really don't feel like having to cough, go back and re-say it again, and then cough again in a different part of the sentence. Everybody understands why one takes work. There's always something that you're not going to be happy with and you're going to want to redo. But with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, week 8, again, I will hurry up and change this to make it look nice. Shush phone. I forgot to silence my phone. I'll have to do that real quick as well. So, it is week 8. It is the 3rd. But as you can see over here, we're finally running out of room for games, which is great. It just means that I have to do a little bit of tinkering, figure out how I'm gonna do that. But as we can see, we've got some win-lose streaks going. Some even going straight off the page. As we can see over here. Let's start with loss streaks. We've got a couple 2-game loss streaks: Vancouver, St. Louis, and New York Islanders. The Detroit Red Wings with 2 losses in a row. 3 losses in a row for Arizona, 4 for Anaheim, and just a couple for Chicago. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 2 points in the past 8 games for Chicago. 2-game win streaks for Boston, for Dallas, for Minnesota, and then a 3-game win streak for Carolina and Nashville. More than 3 games, we've got 5 games for Toronto, and we've got Seattle with 7. Yeah, 7. Pretty impressive there for Seattle. I gave them a pretty decent grade on my grading system. this year, that the video that we'll be recording and putting out this coming week. Gave them a pretty high grade considering the expectations put upon them. Well, if we take a good look at this last week, these numbers here, I will zoom in so that we can see some of these numbers better from this last week. Obviously, alphabetical order. As we can see, we've got a couple teams here that did not do very great this last week in Week 8. Anaheim with only 1 point. Arizona was 0. Chicago was 0 points. Detroit with only 1 point. Couple 2 point weeks. Very interesting though. If we take a look, Boston with only one game played. That's the first time we've only had one game played, I believe, for a team other than when St. Louis didn't even play a game in the first full week. And then teams with the most points, obviously, Carolina and Edmonton with 6. Also, Toronto with 6. And Nashville with 6. New Jersey with 5. And Minnesota with 5. We take Week 8, we add it into the rest of the year. So this is cumulative for the whole year. We've got division standings. As you can see, we kind of moved things around. This is one page that I will be transferring over all of the data to, so that it's all in one nice row here. Actually including the goal scorers, the goals and goalies and points for teams and all that. So hopefully it makes everything a little more cohesive. Anyways, so division standings. We've got Boston, Toronto, Tampa, and then Detroit, Florida, Montreal, Buffalo, and Ottawa for the Atlantic Division. 38-19. A clean double or half if you're Ottawa. Point swing. 39 points for New Jersey. We have a new points leader at the top of the league. Now with New Jersey, Carolina with 31, New York with 30. So as you can see, you pretty much have to have 30 points in order to be in the top for the East. Not something that we're not used to seeing with the East. That you have to be high scoring or high. You have to have a lot of points to get into the playoffs. Last year, the cutoff was 100 points. Just really, really impressive all around. 28 for Pittsburgh, 27 for the Rangers, Washington, Philadelphia, and Columbus there at the bottom with only 14 points. Dallas, Winnipeg, and Colorado. 32, 29, 27 for them. I guess the whole league you have to have 30 points except for the Central. Nashville, Minnesota, St. Louis, Arizona, and Chicago filling out the rest of the Central. And then in the Pacific, we've got Vegas, Seattle, and LA. Two of those teams were not expected to be there currently, or based off of projections from the beginning of the season. But when you've got two teams underperforming as much as Edmonton and Calgary are, that's what's going to happen. And then we've got Vancouver, San Jose, and Anaheim performing right around where they were projected to be. We take the divisions, we smack them together, and we get our wild card. Boston, Toronto, Tampa, New Jersey, Carolina, and New York firmly in a playoff spot in the East. Pittsburgh and Detroit. Pittsburgh and Detroit in the wild card spots. New York Rangers, though, tied with Detroit. And then Florida only 1 point behind. Montreal 2 points behind. Washington 3. And then everybody else kind of trailing a little bit more out of reach there. Buffalo, Philadelphia, Ottawa, and Columbus. In the West, we've got Dallas, Winnipeg, Colorado, Vegas, Seattle, LA in their respective division playoff spots. Nashville and Edmonton tied right now for that wild card spot. Minnesota actually 1 point above Calgary. St. Louis, Vancouver, San Jose, Arizona, Chicago, and Anaheim. There's 5 teams there at the bottom that nobody expects to go anywhere from where they are right now. 3 teams that pretty much everybody had in a playoff spot, and then these 3 teams here: Winnipeg, Seattle, and LA being the ones that nobody had doing as well as they are. Well, I shouldn't say nobody. There's a couple people that had Winnipeg doing that well, but I digress. So, put everybody together. You got your league standings. We've got New Jersey at the top now. First time at the top for them. Boston, first time out of the top in a long time. Vegas was the last team to overthrow Boston. That was a couple weeks ago. Toronto actually moving up 1 spot, and Vegas going down to 4th. And Seattle filling out somehow filling out the top 5. But this number here is not correct. Dallas with 32 and Carolina with 31. Rounding out the 30s, we've got the Islanders and LA, and then Winnipeg and Tampa tied for the 10th spot. Down at the bottom, not even at 20 points yet, we've got Ottawa, Columbus, Arizona, Chicago, and Anaheim. People feeling real silly having Columbus potential wild card spot, but wild card dark horse kind of thing. So goals up until this point in the year. I am gonna zoom out a little bit for this one because I want to make sure everybody gets in there. Jason Robertson, 22 goals, overthrows Connor McDavid. Bo Horvat moves down from first, I believe, this last year with 17. Leon Draisaitl with 16, and Tage Thompson with 15, rounding out the top 5. Just a couple unranked people this last week: Jack Hughes, Austin Matthews, and Mark Scheifele. I don't know who any of those people are. Very surprising, though, that Austin Matthews is just now coming into the top 25 in goals. He does have 12, so he is doing well. But there's people scoring 10 more goals than him, so he's got a ways to go still. Nikita Kucherov, the top, sharing the top with Nathan MacKinnon in assists, and then we've got Barzal and Connor McDavid with 24, and Leon Draisaitl with 22, rounding out the top 5 there. A couple people that were not ranked: Josh Morrissey, Adam Fox, Michael Sergachev, Rantanen, Tage Thompson, and Sebastian Aho. Take all the assists and goals, you slap them together and get our points. Connor McDavid firmly at the top there with 43. 4 points behind him is Jason Robertson, and then Leon Draisaitl, Nikita Kucherov, and Nathan MacKinnon rounding out the top 5. Bunch of people, though, with 32 points, and then we've got Rantanen and Kaprizov, and then Mitch Marner with 31, 20, and 30, 30, and 31, 30, 29. Then a bunch of people with 28. So, obviously, this group here, I'd say this group right here, pretty good chance that they can catch up to any of these guys. Maybe not McDavid, but really there is no reason to think otherwise. Austin Matthews hopping into the top 25 in points now. Fiala, Hughes, and Stamkos not ranked this last week. Moving over to goalies, we did have a goalie. I have to sneeze really bad. Dang it. I don't think I do anymore, but I really did I thought I was going to sneeze on camera there for a second. There was a goalie. There's 2 goalies now who have at least 3 shutouts this year. Connor Hellebuck and Ville Husso being the other one. Ville Husso, while being good, has fluctuated a little bit. Not consistent enough to be in the top 10, unfortunately. Linus Ullmark sitting there at the top in both goals against average and saves percentage. for Boston. And then Vegas, unfortunately, no two goalie tandem anymore in the top 10. Got Samsonov and Sorokin, the Ilias. Got them both down here as well. And then a lot of non-ranked goalies for goals against average, and then only 2 popping in for saves percentage. Obviously, 2 goals against average being the bar to beat. .935 save percentage, the save percentage to beat. Lastly, we've got points for. Yeah. Lastly. There we go. All right, points for. We've got LA with, in 26 games, 250 points. They are way up from last week. Buffalo, Dallas, Seattle, and New Jersey rounding out the top 5. And then at the bottom here, less than 150 for Chicago, Arizona, Anaheim, Philadelphia, and Montreal there sharing the bottom. And then we go over to points against, so the opponent's points. We've got Boston, shockingly. When I say shockingly, I mean not shockingly at all. At the top there with 130. If we take a quick look, Boston outscoring their opponents, outpointing their opponents by 100 points. New Jersey, Colorado, Winnipeg, and Toronto rounding out the top 5. And here at the bottom, we've got Anaheim, Vancouver, LA, Buffalo, and San Jose. Almost. By this time next week, Anaheim will most likely be in the 300s. And considering Boston has less than half of that, is a really rough sign for Anaheim and a really great sign for Boston. So, that being said, the of the teams at the top, in the top 5 for both, that would be nobody. New Jersey is the only team in the top 5 for both this week. Second in goals against and 5th in goals for. So they're actually outscoring their opponents, let's see, by almost 100, about 70. So pretty dang decent. Might be thinking that we ran a little fast today. We're at about 18 and a half minutes as of right now. That's because I am sick and I feel like poo. So I'm gonna actually bring it back to this because as much as I would love to sit here and chat, I desperately need to blow my nose, sneeze, and then cough, and then take lots of medicine. So with that, I'm going to wrap it up for this week. If you do like the quicker format, let me know. If you like the longer format, let me know. If there's anything I missed this week, let me know. I feel like I did miss something, but I can't remember what it was. And then, obviously, JMO episode ideas. I'd love to hear from you guys, find out what it is that you guys want to learn about the NHL. With that, like, share, and subscribe. And I will see you guys again this coming week in the report card episode that I am going to be recording very soon. And yeah, I will see you then, guys.